radiating. We could see out 120 kilometers. But because of that, our maximum velocity we can see is only 16 meters per second. So that would be good if you were trying to observe, you know, just a band of rain or like a snow squall. But if you wanted to observe tornadoes, you would go into a smaller pulse because you would get higher velocities. So you could stay on the low velocity scan, but you would have to unfold your data because it would be aliased. I'm sorry if I'm saying anything that you might not know, but Google, watch YouTube videos, ask questions.
How often do you use this?
How often do we use this?
Yes.
So we actually use it in our radar meteorology class. All the students get to go out, and anytime there's weather, we try to get them out, and they do a little project. If there's a storm around Champaign-Urbana, we just go out also. It's kind of a free-for-all. And then, of course, on projects. So we just had the Perils Field campaign that we were out in the southeast. That was QLCS tornado project. And there's also, if your university's interested, if you contact us at the University of Illinois, we can help you apply for a grant to have the DOWs come to your university and y'all can do a project. I think the University of Nebraska just did that over the summer. Yeah, you had a question? Wait, right here? Yeah, so this, if you were scanning, you would be able to see, this is reflectivity is what I've selected. This is how we see our data on this screen. So this is just different reflectivity values. But I'm not scanning right now or transmitting, but if I, hang on, I can, no one's around the antenna. Start spinning it. So if I start spinning the antenna, you'll start seeing, I'm not transmitting, so I'm not sending out any radiation. The only thing you would be seeing is if you start seeing colors pop up, that's what's the radiation that's coming from the sun. So that's how we figure out where our truck is pointing. We find where the sun is first, and then we can correct to find true north when we're out in the field.
Say, how do you make like errors, mistakes?
All the time. Lots of mistakes in the field. Sometimes you get out there and your radar's not working, which is really disappointing, but you just try to problem solve as quickly as possible. So we're driving and the truck is just bouncing all the time, so oftentimes one of these cables comes unplugged and we have to figure out which one it is, plug it in. Yeah, it does suck. Sometimes the frequency of radiation we're sending gets out of tune, so our data is all messy, so we have to manually tune it back to the right frequency. So lots of problems in the field. Sometimes your truck gets stuck in mud and you have to figure that out. We had to get pulled out by a tractor this last year. Yeah, so it happens, but you just have to be on your toes and try to keep a level head in the stressful situation.
Worst case scenario, you get stuck in a storm.
Yeah, that's the worst case scenario, which we usually have support vehicles with us so we can get away.
No one who's gotten sucked up's complained about it.
Yeah, and I mean,